From Mamma Mia, welcome to The Spill, your daily pop culture fix. I'm Laura Brodnick.
And I'm Em Vernon.
And coming up on the show today, in celebration of a movie being released next week that we have been just waiting on tenterhooks, our hearts beating oh so fast, our throats ready to sing in celebration of this movie coming out.
I'm so excited for everyone to watch this.
Wicked for Good is in cinemas next week.
I am so excited. The second and final part of Wicked after the intermission.
Yes, the year-long intermission between movies, which I know I was critical at the time. But
Has it been a full year?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, can you believe?
I felt like we went there yesterday.
This time last year, we were sitting in the State Theatre together with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande sitting quite next to us.
Yeah.
Watching them on stage.
Us.
And then you yelling at me for crying so hard and making the seats shake.
I mean, I did cry a little bit too, but not as much.
I know, sorry. It's 20 years build up. So as much as we're not talking about Wicked today because we're saving our... We have seen the movie at this stage by the time you hear this, but we're not going to say anything quite yet. But... in the lead up to it, it's got us thinking about what is at the heart of Wicked, why people flock to it. Yes, the staging is amazing on the stage show and the special effects in the movie. Yes, the songs are top tier, best songs in the world. I'll fight anyone on that. Yes, the love story is incredible. But at the end, especially the second part of the movie. But really, at the end of the day, what I've always said, people flock to Wicked, and what makes it so different from so many other musicals or even movies is that at its heart, it's this beautiful, complicated, life-changing, I would hesitate to say, story about female friendship.
Yeah. It is like one of those movies that I feel like so many young girls will watch and they'll just be like, this is like the movie that was the catalyst of like how they want their friendships to turn out when they go older. And I feel like a lot of people have that like defining moment when they're young on like what they want their adult friendships to look like. And I feel like this movie in particular, because so many people don't have access to theatre, I think this movie in particular will be that for such a like for the younger generation.
Yeah, and just that idea of like a female friendship that really changes you, as it says in the movie, because of you I have been changed for the better, I have been changed for good. That's the song in the second movie.
God, you're going to start crying again.
Yeah, actually I am.
I know. I can feel it.
Okay.
I can feel it.
All right, let's move on really quickly because God knows there's plenty of crying from me on this podcast about Wicked to come. So in celebration of that, today we wanted to make this episode about the best movies that depict female friendship. So movies that, yes, they have a bit of romance in them because, you know, so many movies do. But at the end of the day, they're about two women coming together and really changing each other's lives.
Yeah.
And there are, even though I feel like female friendship isn't something that's depicted in movies enough or sometimes very well, there are a few movies, there's a handful of movies out there that I think really get it right.
Yeah, and I feel like it's getting better and better. Like I feel like more people are invested in female friendships now and there's like a lot of more focus on female friendships as rom-coms and as romantic storylines rather than the traditional like heterosexual relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
So we picked our favourite movies. How many do you have?
I have 3.
I have 3 too.
Okay, great. And we haven't said which ones they are.
No.
I don't think there's one of mine we'll double up on, but we'll see.
Oh, do you want to go first?
Okay, but I was saving that one till the end.
Okay, but what if it's mine?
Okay. Oh, okay. I'll say the movie that I think that we're both going to say because
I know. When I put this one in mine, there's one in my list that I'm like,
all right, shall we on the count of 3, shall we say it at the same time?
It
might be wrong.
Different.
Okay, we'll see. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Booksmart. Yeah, I knew it. Okay, starring Beanie Feldstein and our fave, Caitlin Dever. They're both our faves, actually.
Yeah.
Molly and Amy. They are... Okay, let me do the plot. Why not?
Please do.
They are high school students. They're in their final year of high school in the US. I still get their systems confused with our systems. But they're in the final year of high school. They're going into university. And in the US, you all go to different colleges all the time. They're like nerdy girls. Like I think Beanie's like class president. Caitlin Dever is like her best friend. And then they find out that they were nerds for no reason. Like they skipped all of the college parties. They didn't rebel out. And they realized it was for no reason because all of the other kids who did rebel out and did go to college parties and didn't study as much as they did are going to the exact same colleges that they are.
Oh, and this movie is incredible for so many reasons, but just that setup, and we should say directed by Olivia Wilde in her directorial debut. And whenever people...
And it had such a soft opening, didn't it?
Oh, this is one of the reasons I talk about this movie so much. It did have a really bad opening. It's gone on to be like a very cult classic, but and this is also why I like to defend Olivia Wilde sometimes, and people shit on Don't Worry Darling, which I don't think was a bad movie. It just needed a different edit, and sometimes things don't work out. But she did an incredible job with this, and she really championed this movie.
This is such
from the get-go.
Bloody good movie.
Oh,
I think I watch it once a year.
It's like, there's very few movies I would call a perfect movie, but this is one of them. And so the weekend it came out, I think like we were very excited about it. It came out in 2019, but I don't think it was one of those releases. Yeah. I know, I looked that up, 2019.
You know, that was the first screening I've ever gone to.
Really?
And you gave me tickets to it.
Did I?
Yeah. It wasn't like a premiere. It was like just a screen, like an early preview, but still free tickets. And I took my mum and we were in this theatre and we had like a little popcorn and a drink. It was very glamorous for us. And we were sitting in the theatre, laughing. Like we were both dying. Like everyone in the theatre was just like in hysterics throughout the whole movie because that's how funny it is.
Yeah, I think there's only one other movie I feel like I've had that experience in where everyone is just screaming in laughter at the same time in a movie theatre in the last couple of years, and that's Bottoms, which has a very similar vibe. Maybe we should just, since we have the same thing, we should just throw Bottoms in at some stage.
Bottoms, that's a good one.
As another movie about female friendship. But yeah, it came out that weekend in 2019, and Olivia Wilde jumped on Twitter and I think really put like humility or anything aside and was just like, hey guys, no one is seeing this movie. Please go to the movies and see it. Please see it in the opening weekend. I think she said we're getting creamed by the big guys. Like this tweet isn't like in my mind forever because she was just like the opening weekend means everything and this movie is making no money. And half of that is because like I guess Beanie Feldstein and Caitlin Dever weren't really household names at the time. Caitlin Dever came attached with the script, with the character, and Olivia Wilde wanted to keep her, which was the right choice. Beanie Feldstein wasn't a huge name at the time, and so they just didn't feel like there was a reason for people to turn out and see the movie, even though it's got like this incredible supporting cast, like Lisa Kudrow's in it.
And they both became like so much bigger after the movie.
Yeah.
But it's just so bloody funny, and like the way they set up their friendship, like that opening scene of like Beanie coming out of her house, and I should say their names, Molly.
So you can just Beanie, say that
Beanie coming out of the house, and Caitlin's like at the car picking her up, and they just start dancing together, and they're like, "Oh my god, girl, you look fine!"
Yeah,
and it's just so cute.
Like, how dare you be so beautiful, and how dare you be so gorgeous? And they dance for ages.
They dance for ages, and then they're like, Malala.
Yeah,
Malala.
And how Caitlin's character is gay. And then they like her parents think she and Beanie are together. And like Beanie really leads into it. And her mum's Lisa Kudrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, are you guys going to have a sleepover? Like, we're going to try some hot masks. And she's like, as in like face masks. And she's like, I don't need to know all the words. But yeah, that moment where they're in the bathroom and they find out it's Beanie's character who's kind of saying like, yes, we've never gone to a party. Yes, you hate us. Yes, we're losers. But at the end of the day, like we're going off to be successful and you're all going to be stuck in this tiny town. And then it's Molly Gordon who plays the popular girl who's Beanie's childhood friend.
Yeah.
It's Beanie, Molly Gordon and Ben Platt that all went to high school together and are best friends, who says to her, well, I'm going to yell as well.
And she's like, what? And her whole world just changes.
What's that line? She goes, yeah, I give a good hand job, but I also got like a 760 on my SATs.
Because her name was like a nickname for like hand jobs. Like she was such a rude name.
Yeah, it was awful. And she's like, yeah, I'm a slut, but guess what? I'm super smart as well. And so I'm going to yell and I had the time of my life. So then we have Caitlin Dever and Beanie Feldstein decide that they're going to like put all their high school experiences into one night and go to this blowout party, which then turns into one of those movies that it all takes place in one night.
It all takes place in one night. And I think there's like 3 parties that are all happening the same night by different groups in the high school. Like you have like your drama nerds, and then you have your popular group, and then you have like the rich group, and it's them like trying to get to each party to figure out which is the best one and how to have fun. Like it's basically them trying to figure out how to have fun.
And Billie Lourd's in it.
Oh my God,
She plays like the wild party girl.
Yeah, and she's like a bit woo-woo.
What about when they turn into dolls?
Oh,
so important. But also you see them go through, like, they've been each other's person all through high school, and they're in that moment where they just know that their friendship will never be the same, because as close as they are and they think that they'll stay friends, as close as they are, they know that they're going to different schools and they'll never have that moment of being each other's person again.
Yeah.
And so they're also trying to have this night of memories, but also, like, one's got a crush on a guy, one's got a crush on a girl. They have fight, like, they have a huge fight, and they have this moment of betrayal.
That
and
fight scene,
brutal.
So brutal. It's probably the only scene that when I do rewatch, I have to skip because it actually hurts my feelings.
It's almost too real a
It
fight.
feels like you're the third friend.
Yeah.
And then you're really sad when they fight.
It's almost like too real a fight, because you always remember that time you had a blowout with your high school best friend and how it just felt like the world is ending.
Yeah.
Booksmart.
Such a good movie. It's so funny. The scene in the taxi, Jason Sudeikis is like the taxi driver, and they're like listening to porn and they accidentally disconnect from their headphones.
Yeah.
And it's playing out loud in the text.
Which is a fear everyone has. Oh, yeah, because Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde were together at the time, so he was being supportive. But yeah.
It's all right. He's still there
He's
in
still
the movie.
There. It's a really good movie.
So good. Okay. Should I go next?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. The next movie is one that you've also seen.
Okay.
And it's like a group of friends, but there's two that stick out the most. It is Joyride.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love Joyride so much. I watch it over and over again. It's just so funny. It's like very like slapstick physical comedy, but just so funny. So it stars Sherry Cola and Ashley Park. They play Lola and Audrey, and they're two best friends who have grown up together, are currently living together. Audrey's like this really fancy lawyer, and Lola's like this, I want to say she's like a erotic sculptor. Is that what she is? Like an artist?
That's right.
And Audrey's parents she's been adopted, and they're kind of like really, really close. And there's this big thing that's happening in Audrey's work where she has to get this client for her law firm. And he lives in China. So her and Lola go on an adventure to China to go find him. And then all of this like weird, wild, like road trippy stuff takes place. They meet up with Lolo's cousin Deadeye. And Audrey's best friend Kat, who's like an influencer, like a Christian influencer. And then at the same time, Audrey finds out she's Korean and she wants to go find her birth parents, and they're all going through this same thing with like Booksmart. And I think most like female friendships, like they come to a head point where they have this really, really big fight. And the group kind of splits, and like Audrey and Lola are kind of in this big contention of like what they want from each other in this friendship and how they can move forward with such different futures. And then they always come together. But it's just like one of those fun like friendship road trip movies where they're just like traveling across China and Korea, and it's just so fun.
Yeah, and they have that situation then again, you see the movies about friends after high school where they are like, are we actually friends, or were we just put together and we've grown up together, which is a hard thing to confront. Obviously they come past that, but they're like, were we just the only two girls of Asian descent? Because that's how they get paired up as friends, and have we outgrown each other as friends? But also, fuck, that movie is just like a wild fun watch.
It's so funny.
The suitcase is getting stolen.
The scene where they sexually injure the basketball team.
So good. They all have those wild nights of sex in that one hotel. Oh, so good.
So good.
But also, I find myself when you kind of find out what happened, because one of the characters, without giving too much away for anyone who hasn't seen it, because I highly, highly recommend anyone watch this movie. I love showing it to people. Like I've shown it to my sisters and some friends, and it's one of those ones where it's such an undercover gem that when you're looking for a movie and you say, have you seen Joyride? The person will 100% say no.
Yeah.
And then you get to show it to them, which is so fun.
Everyone who I've like recommended it to loved it. I remember I did it for a weekend watch one time, and then you told me you and your sister watched it.
Yeah.
And you guys were like cry laughing. And I'm like, that makes me feel so good.
Screaming with laughter. It was
It's so funny.
And then it also, so it has these wild moments. Oh, when she shows the tattoo off.
The tattoo scene, guys. I just want to say K-pop is involved. That's all you need to know.
That's all you
K-pop
really need to know.
and viral.
Yeah, so important. But it's also like it has these wild over the top like sex or like body movement, all this kind of stuff. But then it also really builds to this scene that had tears in my eyes because you have one character who's looking for her mum and that story plays out. And then I think the way it all ends with them together and where they are and the next adventure they're planning is so beautiful.
It's just such like it's friendship done really, really well with the like undertone of like their cultural heritage and like how you can be brought up so differently, like the nature versus nurture. And I think that was done really well, but it didn't take away from the comedy either.
Yeah, it's so hard because there have been some really great movies centered on female friendship in the last couple of years because Joyride didn't do well at the box office, which I hate.
Because I didn't even like I was literally scrolling on Stan one day and it just popped up and I was like, I know every single actress in this movie. Like these are like massive stars.
Yeah, Mindy from Emily in Paris. I mean, the others are all great too,
Mindy
but obviously
from Emily
like
in Paris, like Nobody Wants Sherry Cole is from Nobody Wants This. Stephanie Sue, who's like in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and this character in Joyride is so different to the character she played in that movie. Like we're having like A-lister celebrities in this movie, and it was just I just happened to be scrolling on Stan having nothing to watch and I saw this and I was like, how have I not heard of this? Clicked in it and it was like the best time of my life.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like one of those gems that just should have been so much bigger than it was.
Yeah, it should have been like this huge hit, like The Hangover that spawned like 4 more movies.
It's as funny as The Hangover.
Absolutely.
It's so good.
Well, that's what I think about.
And Dead Eye is so funny.
So funny. Literally very kind of, humor that it's hard to even explain. But also, so it's like this wild movie but also taps into female friendship in a way. It also just makes you want to go on a girls trip with your friends.
Yeah.
Not that intense, but
I can't do what they did. That's a bit too much for me.
But there's a lot of movies like that, like Bottoms that we brought up before with Rachel Sennett and Io Debris is one that I think about a lot because I just think that should have gone on to be. I know it was successful and I know people liked it, but for what it was and how fantastic it was and how funny it was and how it depicts female friendship and for anyone who hasn't seen it, could we do a quick segue on?
Yeah, Bottoms.
Yeah, so Io Debris and Rachel Sennett are high school best friends and they start this rumor that they were in juvie.
And they're like nerds.
They're absolute nerds and they are also gay and they want to hook up with the hot girls at school and they can't find a way to get an in with them. So they start this self-defense club as a way to...
From experience of their time in juvie that they never had.
They're like, you guys, girls have to protect yourselves. Saying it out loud, it doesn't sound as good as it is, but like it's so good. And so they start this self-defense club and not only does it get them a bit closer to the girls they're in love with, it's also Kaya Gerber's best role, 10 out of 10. Like I'm not a huge fan of her as an actress, but she's great.
She acted in this. Like she acted. She brought it. Like I really liked her in this. But I just, this movie is just so bloody funny because it's also so bizarre at the same time. And they start like teaching the self-defense class, which is also kind of a mix or a callback to Fight Club. Yeah. Because all they're doing is just beating the shit out of each other.
Exactly. Without telling anyone about it. And it's all but they also at the same time, like, yes, it starts out as a way for these two girls who are not the popular girls to hopefully like have some body contact with these hot girls at school and hook up with them. And one of them is successful. But also they do become like this little family of all the misfits at school and all these women coming together, and it is just and the final scene on the football field. Wow, I was literally on my knees. I didn't expect that.
It's like it's nearly a jump scare.
I feel like we were just at one stage just screaming. Like we weren't even laughing.
I didn't expect it at all.
We passed laughter and went into screaming because it was too much.
It's also just like it's a movie that I've seen that like speaks about the female rage at the forefront.
Yes.
Like it's so obvious this movie is about like high school female rage, and it's like you are seeing like all of these hormones leave these women like physically into like this massive fight. And I think it also shows how historically like it's been men movies and movies about boys and teenage boys where they get into these big brawls, but showing that there's so much like anger that women have to suppress just from being women.
Yeah.
And how that can also be let out in a way that's so physical and violent, but still like being friends with each other.
Yeah, and it's also so rare to have a high school movie where at the center of it, like it's pretty much that and Booksmart are the main ones. I guess there's a lot of movies about high school best friends, but where like there's not a love story at the center of it. Like there obviously are two of the women in the group who kind of fall in love, but it really is just about these girls and their relationships and
isn't
everything.
Nicholas Galistane's in it? And like he's like so hot, and I thought he would be such a main character, and He's literally not.
Oh, he does. For anyone who doesn't know, he's the hot guy in The Idea of You, but also Red, White and Royal Blue.
Yes.
Another fave movie. And he is just an absolute loser in this. And he commits so hard to being a loser.
He's so good. Everyone in this movie is really good.
Okay, there you go. So you got a little bonus recommendation there. Watch Bottoms, watch Joyride.
Watch Bottoms, watch Joyride. We're already 3 down.
All right, well, I'm going to take us far, far away from high school. And into a much more serious movie about female friendship. But I think it stands up as one of the greatest movies about 2 best friends on screen that you'll ever see, to the point where this movie came out in 1991. You were barely alive. I was barely alive. But it's still something that is referenced by people of all ages to this day.
Oh.
And it is Thelma and Louise.
I've never seen it.
What?
No, don't tell anyone.
I love that you're whispering.
Don't tell anyone.
Okay.
Love Thelma and Louise. It's my favorite movie.
Okay. Thelma and Louise is, I'm not judging you for not seeing it.
Okay.
It's like, but you know it, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what happens?
Based off like how much people quote it.
Well, that's the thing. It's been quoted so much. It gets referenced so much. It's been parodied so much in like everything from like The Simpsons to other movies. Like it is one of those ones where you probably feel like you've seen it because you've just been immersed in the storyline since you're a child.
Kind of like Lord of the Rings. I know that whole plot line.
You've never seen Lord of the Rings?
Oh, I have now, but I knew it before I watched it.
Okay, I was going to say that's a whole different conversation we're going to have.
I don't want to admit too much.
So Thelma and Louise, as I said, it came out in 1991 and it was directed by Ridley Scott and it stars Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis. So Susan,
Ridley Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This was a big deal, this movie at the time. Lots of other actresses were attached to play at different times, but it kind of just came down to like contract negotiations and schedules, and then it did come down to Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis playing these roles, and they were the complete right choice. So Susan plays Louise and Gina plays Thelma. They are 2 best friends and they set off on a road trip. Now, I'll just call them by their real names, Susan Sarandon, because I feel like that's less stressful for people who don't know the movie. Susan Sarandon's character Louise is like very tough talking, very strong, and Thelma's a bit more timid, and she has a very abusive husband who we find out later that she asked him if she'd go on this road trip. He said no, and she kind of sneaks out and goes anyway. Aww. So all these 2 women want to do is quietly drive their car to this little fishing cabin in the middle of nowhere and just have like a bit of a girls' weekend, chill girls' weekend.
You're allowed to do that.
From there, well, you would think so, right? Of course, men get involved.
Oh, they always get involved.
Exactly, and ruin everything.
Stay in your lane.
So they set out for this vacation and they're at this bar. They're minding their own business. They're having a fun time. Thelma's kind of chatting with this guy and he kind of gets like, this idea of like, oh, this woman will hook up with me. They tell him to go away. They tell him she's married. They go to the car. He follows them out and he starts attacking them and attacking Thelma. Like he's 100% going to rape her. And so Louise is traveling with a gun that her boyfriend had given her, pulls the gun out of the car and shoots him.
Deserved.
Yeah. But then, of course, they're stressed because everyone's like...
Oh, does he die?
He dies, yeah. And then they're like, oh, my God, we've killed this man. And also everyone saw us inside the bar flirting and chatting with him back when they were just thought he was just a random guy in a bar they were just saying hello to, like no big deal. And it's going to look like we took him into the car park and shot him.
Did they kill everyone in the bar?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. They're the heroes of the story.
Sorry.
They've just been put in a horrific situation. Yeah. And you also find out later why Louise had such an intense reaction to seeing this man attack her friend. And so then they decide to run, get in the car and leave. No one's going to believe us.
No, they're really on a road trip.
Yeah, so that is the thing. They're on this, then the rest of the movie follows them on this road trip. The police find the body, the FBI get involved, the FBI start like tracking them. There's this one particular FBI officer who's the one that every time they could take a call from the FBI because he's trying to negotiate them for to show themselves in, that they who is sort of like it's like he can see what's happened and he's trying to help them. And they just kind of then throw themselves into this lifestyle. Like they don't set out to hurt anyone, but they do like rob a shop with the gun and do other stuff and steal things. Yeah. And along the way, they meet a very hot guy played by Brad Pitt in his very first acting role.
I didn't know he was in this.
Yeah, JD. I think that's what his name is. I just think it was Hot Brad Pitt. Yeah. So and he's pretty much naked.
Whoa.
So just think super young Brad Pitt, super naked, before he became wildly problematic.
Okay, I'm into it.
Well, they kind of this young guy they pick up and Thelma has like a wild night with him and then he does steal from them.
Oh, God. Brad Pitt.
Not to give away so much of the movie. I haven't seen this movie in years, but I watched it all the time as a kid, which really...
The movies you watch as a kid are crazy.
I know. I can't believe my mum was like, oh, I don't know if you should watch Buffy as a teenager. And I was like, literally, I watched Thelma and Louise on that weird VHS we had in the TV cabinet like 50 times. And so it's this thing of like, the reason it's such a strong movie about female friendship, it's that these two women come together. It's like protecting each other on the run together. And I don't want to spoil the ending, but I kind of have to explain.
Yeah, I'll still watch it.
I feel like the ending is so iconic that you would know. So they're in the car. They're heading towards the Grand Canyon. The FBI, like 50 police cars are behind them and chasing them.
So they're on the run, like physically they're being chased.
It ends in a huge car chase and they're driving and they don't know what to do when they're in the car. And then they are like, we're going to, if we stop, we'll go to prison for the rest of our lives and it'll be over. And they're so broken.
Stop. Do they drive off a cliff?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The movie doesn't want to sort of us to think of their death as you're meant to think of it as the moment of like extreme friendship. It's a
Wait, they die?
It's a I feel like I need to show you the clip of this afterwards and just for you to see it. So it's one of, can I just say, this is one of the most iconic film endings of all time. Skip ahead a few seconds if you don't want to hear, but it is one of the most iconic film endings of all time where they say, let's just keep driving. Let's just keep going. Let's just go. And they look at each other and they're smiling and they're crying and they're just like, they just commit to like, we are together until the end. That's why people say like, you're my Thelma, you're my Louise. That's a shorthand for saying like, you're my best friend. It's a shorthand for saying you're my ride or die. Like that's where this comes from. Like we ride together or we die together and they decide to ride and die together. Oh, you look so shocked.
How did I miss this?
I don't know. It's a huge... No,
I thought I knew everything about this movie.
You know why you think that is because it's such a beautiful way that Ridley Scott does it is that you're meant to be not to think of them as dying in a way. So they're driving towards the Grand Canyon. She puts her foot down the accelerator. They kiss, they hold hands, and then the car like shoots off the edge and it ends on the frozen car in the air. So you don't see them die and you don't see them, anything bad happen to them. And in your mind, you can almost imagine that they jumped the Grand Canyon.
Oh, they fly away like Herbie.
Yeah.
Maybe their car's Herbie.
Maybe their car's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that moment of like, we ride together or we die together, like that's Thelma and Louise. Like, I've got your back. Because a few times, like, you know, one of them will say, like, well, you didn't shoot him. You could turn him in. They're like, no, we're in this together. Like, we're 100% in this together. We've got each other's backs. And they do fight and stuff through the movie, obviously, because it's a tense situation. But it's that person that it's meant to be like a symbol for finding that one female friend who has your back no matter what, who will be with you to the end. Someone that you'd rather drive off the Grand Canyon with, because if you don't do that, then you're going to be separated. Emily's crying, everyone.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Sorry to spoil that movie for you.
No, I'm definitely going to watch this.
I think you would love it. It's again, once you watch it, you'll be like, oh, this gets referenced in every other movie I watched. That's why I think it's important for people to watch these classics because they are the foundations for everything we watch now.
Yeah.
And then you'll also realize how often people quote this movie, like both in real life and in TV shows and movies and stuff. And yeah, that idea of ride or die, that's from this.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I say ride or die all the time.
Yeah. Well, here you go. Now you can say to someone, you're my Thelma, you're my Louise.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to do your next one?
I may as well. Okay. My next one comes. I used to watch this movie all the time, and I definitely have talked about it on the podcast before. I used to watch it all the time with my cousins and my family. It was one of the movies that the adults would always put on for all of us when we were annoying them. And whoever's house we were at, they'd just be like, everyone sit down. It's time to watch your favorite movie, because it was all of our collective favorite movie. And I'm from a big family, so there was like 20 of us. And we'd all sit down and watch it. And we weren't really watching it because we knew this movie so well that we'd just quote it from beginning to end. And it was probably not a movie we should have seen as such young girls. Like,
That's
I watched
the best
it,
one.
I think when I was like 9 years old. It is so, so good.
Oh my God, what is it?
Bend It Like Beckham.
Oh, yeah. A classic.
A classic. So Parminder Nagra and Keira Knightley. Keira Knightley is so young in it. Jess and Jules. So it's basically about Jessminda. She is a young girl living in England with her family, and she's of Indian heritage, and her family are very traditional. And her mum wants her to just focus on her studies, marry someone from another family that they love and respect, and then just kind of like be a housewife, essentially, like cook and clean and provide for your family. And Jessminda, is really good at football, also known as soccer.
Yeah.
Really good at football. So she would play with like the boys in her neighborhood, and she was always the best in her team. And then she meets Jules, which is Keira Knightley, who is white British, and she comes also from a bit of a quirky family. Like her mother's a bit silly.
Yeah. Her
silly
mother
goose.
wants her to be like a girly girl, and
Yeah,
she's
her
a
mother
real
wants her to be
tomboy.
a girly girl, but her dad loves that she loves football. And Keira Knightley, should I just call them names?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll call her Jess and Jules.
I feel like this is one movie where people know their names.
Jules like plays for a football team. Their coach, Joe, played by Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, who you might know as Henry VIII in The Tudors.
Yeah, I do know him from that.
He's so hot in Bend It Like Beckham. I'm like, I had a huge crush on him. Yeah.
Oh, I always thought
When
he
I
was
was younger.
I always thought he was a bit weedy and annoying, and I was like, why are these two
Honestly,
beautiful girls fighting over him? But also
his storyline was actually not needed in this movie.
Yeah. But also he was just the guy that was there.
Yeah,
It's
he was just there.
Sometimes you just have to crush on a guy that's there.
It's just there. And then Jules convinces Jess to join the football team. So she does it without telling her parents. She kind of sneaks out. And it's just like one of those like female friendships, but like cross-cultural, which I felt like was so forming as a child who's also from immigrant parents living in Australia in this world, because a lot of my friends were like white Australian. And I thought watching like older girls like see their friendship form like that, I think that was just so affirming for me. Like,
Yeah.
it was just so beautiful to watch, and also watch Jess's parents come around to her playing football in the end. And the lines in this are iconic. Like when Jules' mum is like, "Get your lesbian feet out of my shoes."
Oh, yeah, because they take the shoes because her parents gave Jessminda money to buy shoes for her sister's wedding, and she uses it for football stuff.
just
And then
get your
Keira Knightley's
lesbian feet.
character is like, don't worry, my mum has so many shoes.
She's like, "Get your lesbian feet out of my shoes." And her aunt's like, "Lesbian? Her birthday's in March. I thought she was a Pisces." Just like iconic lines. Like, she's like, "We can find anything to fit these little mosquito bites on like these juicy mangoes."
Oh, she's talking about her boobs.
Yeah. And me and my cousins would quote juicy mangoes all the time. My mum's like, "You have to stop this. Like, we're in a supermarket."
Or when her cousin tells her that he's gay and he tells her, he's like, "I like Beckham." She's like, "I know." He's like, "No, I really
like
Beckham." Which is a beautiful way to say it. It's like, we understand, sir.
And then they both have a crush on Joe. Average Joe.
Average Joe.
And then they just literally like brush him to the side to play football, and they both get a scholarship to the US. And the end scene when they're in the airport and they pass David and Victoria Beckham.
Yeah, but not David Victoria Beckham.
Not David Beckham.
It would have been so iconic of them to do a cameo in this movie, but I guess also they didn't know because they're stunt people.
Yeah.
And you just see the back of them walking
and it
through
like
the
looks
airport.
like that.
But
And they're like, "It's a sign." And I'm like, "It is a sign."
I feel like if David Beckham had known what this movie would become, he would have done that cameo.
This is how I found out about David Beckham.
Really?
Was through this movie. Because I would always ask, like, I would be like, "Why is it called Bend It Like Beckham?" Like, I'm like, "Who the hell is Beckham?"
Yeah.
Like
a lot of assumed knowledge in that title.
it sounded like a god in the movie, because it's like, "I want to be as good as Beckham." She's like, "Beckham." And I'm like, "Who is this person?" And then my dad's like, "It's David Beckham."
The
And I was
greatest
like, "I don't know who
footballer
that
of all
is."
time.
But I guess these girls do.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to trust them. I feel like they know what they're doing.
That's good enough for me. But yeah, Bend It Like Beckham, it was just one of those like friendships that I feel like we never see even now in modern day, which we rarely get like cross-cultural friendships where culture is seen as like the biggest obstacle in the friendship and in their family lives. And I wish we got more of it, but this was the one movie that I felt like was so close to home for me.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. It's also like they have all the troubles of other high school friends, but they also have like the pressure of like wanting to essentially be elite athletes and what that means for having to like push each other and also push aside jealousy of each other because Jules obviously brings Jess in, but then Jess is so good.
Yeah.
And obviously Jules has had a crush on Average Joe for so long, and then he kind of likes Jess, problematic, and them having to sort of push past all of that, and which they do.
Yeah, which they do.
I mean, they have a bit of a fight, but who doesn't?
Girls love to fight.
But the thing is, and you've seen them like kind of go off on the plane to like follow their dreams together.
And they send that postcard back to their families of them in their new football team.
Yeah.
So cute.
So good. So
in my head, they're still playing football to this day.
Yeah. And they met David Beckham many times.
Yeah.
And now
David Beckham wishes he could be like Jess.
Yeah. I think that too. Okay, I know I've said that every movie I've done is the most iconic friendship movie, but this is the most iconic friendship movie. Like, if you asked anyone to say what is the most important movie about friendship that everyone references, they would say this. Beaches.
I haven't watched it.
But you know about it, right?
I know about Beaches.
You know the idea of like, if someone said to you Beaches, you'd be like, oh, the movie about the chicks who are friends.
Yeah. That's literally all I know about it.
Well, this movie did come out in 1998, but can I say, yes, you weren't alive. Were you alive? Barely.
I was alive.
I was barely alive, just so you know. No, you weren't.
Yes, I was 2 years old.
In 1988. I was like, dude, there's no way you're alive in 1998 unless you've been pulling a younger situation. Imagine if I thought this whole time you've been lying about your age and you're actually...
I'm like 50.
You're actually in your mid-30s.
No, I wasn't alive.
Yeah, I was barely alive. I'd been alive for like a year barely.
I was like, I was too. And
so
like, what?
We didn't watch it in cinemas, but I've watched it many times since then.
Because then I'd be like, okay, now your mum's pushing it.
No, I mean, this is, again, one of those movies that we had on an old VHS tape that my mum taped off, so we also had the commercials in it. And we just used to watch it over and over and over and over again.
I'd actually love to watch an old VHS tape with the commercials in it.
Yeah.
That'd be so weird.
Or what my mum used to do too is if it was a bit of a risque movie, like this movie isn't as much, is that she would take, like with Pretty Woman and Dirty Dancing, she taped out the like she didn't press record when they were having a sex scene. So our old VHS tapes of Pretty Woman and Dirty Dancing don't have the sex scenes in them. So it wasn't until I was an adult that I realized that in Pretty Woman they have sex and in Dirty Dancing they have sex. And I was like, I don't know what to make of this.
That's so funny. Oh my God, what a legend.
I can't even watch them now because I'm just like, when I see that Pretty Woman scene when they're kissing on the piano, I'm like, this has been edited later on.
This is not for me.
This is not the child-friendly version I watched as a child.
I have a confession.
What?
That I am confessing right now to my family.
Yeah.
The reason why Nana and Papa's VHS machine thing broke was because I'd always put my spoons in them after I ate my cereal.
What?
I put my spoon through the cassette player.
Why?
I don't know.
I thought you were going to say because I snuck a tape and I tried to rewatch. There's no need to put a spoon in a VHS.
There was a lot of spoons in ours.
Didn't they come over? Wasn't that a very easily detectable crime? Because didn't they come over and say, hey, Emily, you were just eating with a spoon next to the VHS and now there's a spoon in the VHS?
I think they knew. Well, because there were so many spoons in there that even when they shook it, it wouldn't make a noise because they were so compacted in.
I don't even understand how you would put a spoon in a VHS.
So there were two issues, right? The VHS players stopped working and Nana ran out of spoons.
I literally have so many questions.
And they never put it together.
I feel like we need to get your Nana on the pod and do like a
she'll 12, be like, what the heck?
Do like a 12-part system of like.
Be like, you owe me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
Sorry.
Well, that's not how I watch Beaches. So it came out in 1998 and it stars Bette Midler as Cecilia Cece Bloom.
Great name.
Yep. And Barbara Hershey as Hillary Whitney. So this is one where I might use their character names because I think people know. So it starts with Cece, Bette Midler, obviously one of the greatest musicians and actors of our time, on stage at a concert. Obviously you're like, this woman, Cece Bloom, super famous.
Yeah.
She gets a message, something has happened. She cancels the concert, she runs out, she jumps in a car, she starts driving.
And you don't know what the message is?
No, you don't know what the time of the message is. Okay. And as she's driving, she thinks back.
Oh, it goes do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, you go back in time and then suddenly it's she's a child and we're back in 1958 at this stage and she's in Atlantic City and Cece is like a child star. She's performing in like concert at like a hotel thing, and she's auditioning for something, and she's got a really overbearing mother that she's running away from. And while she's running away onto the boardwalk, she meets this little girl with dark hair called Hillary, who is from a very, very, very rich family. So there's a huge difference. You have Sisu, who's this like from a poor family, but her mum's trying to make her a star, and she's a good singer, but she's like really bawdy and really out there and really like unpolished. And then you've got Hillary, who's like this beautiful, perfect princess with like perfect straight hair and a little dress on.
And she can't sing.
So, no, and that's never a point of the thing.
I was like, what's her flaw? What's this little girl's flaw?
Well, it's more that Hillary just like, hey, why are you crying under the boardwalk? And she's like, I'm Cece, I'm Hillary. And then they go off on this little adventure together, and they go and get ice cream, and they go and do all this stuff. And then the parents find them and rip them apart. But before they do that, they exchange.
Why? Because I'm a different socioeconomic background?
Well, yes, that. But her mum's like, get back to this audition. And the dad's like, why would you run away from us? We're like on holidays, rah, rah. And so before they do, they exchange addresses. And they're like, write to me, please write to me. And then all through their childhood and all through their teenage years, they're pen pals. So they write to each other and keep each other. Like they never see each other for like the next 15 years or whatever until they're adults. And Bette Midler's character Cece is performing, and into the room walks this like beautiful woman, and she's like, it's me, Hillary. And Hillary has like run away from her life. And so they move in together, and it's this whole thing of like their friendship of like they move in together. They're both like struggling to kind of make it in the world. They kind of like both fall for the same guy, so they have a bit of a blowout. And then at one stage, Hillary goes off back home to look after her dying father, and she falls in love with someone of her world. So then they kind of have this big like distance in their friendship. And this time like Cece's career kind of goes up, but then it goes down. And then one day Hillary shows up back on her doorstep to say that her husband's cheated on her, and she's also heavily pregnant. And so like they move back in together, and it's this whole thing of like the movie basically traces like their friendship from when they're tiny little girls till when they're in their 40s and something horrifically bad happens. Yeah. And kind of just traces this incredible lifelong friendship from these two women who come from different worlds, who really shouldn't have seen each other again after that day they met under the boardwalk, but just became each other's person. Because what happens is like, so Hillary's husband's like cheating on her, so she ends up raising her daughter Victoria alone, and then Cece becomes more popular, and then one day she finds out she's very, very sick, and she finds out she's going to die pretty much. And so Cece's got this big world tour booked and things, and she's like, will you please, so it's called Beaches. There's a reason for that, is that Hillary has this beach house and she wants to have one last summer there with her daughter Victoria, but she can't do it by herself, and she wants Cece to give up her career at that point and just not forever, but just for that summer, and come with them. And then Cece's like, I will hire, because she's got so much money, she's so rich and famous right now. She's like, I will hire the best nurses, I will hire help. And she can just see Hillary's like, oh, okay, because she's like, I could have done that, I'm rich, like I wanted you to be there. And then so Cece does that, she takes them, and the three of them have this incredible summer at the beach. So they met on a beach, and then their friendship at this moment has also come back to them being on the beach. And then later on, when they find out that Hillary's in like the last day of her life, they go back to the beach so she can die there. And it's that song Wind Beneath My Wings, which is the song that Bette Midler's character sings throughout the movie and is the soundtrack to the movie. And that plays.
This is so sad.
Oh, it is so sad. I have never seen anyone not watch this movie and just sob and sob and sob. And it's the two of them just sitting on the beach together just as Hillary's about to die, and like Cece's just holding her hand and smiling. And then it cuts to a funeral. It's so... But then she had asked Cece if she would look after her daughter, because her daughter's only like 6 at the time. So the last scene is of her singing on stage, and she kind of looks up and she's singing the song at the end that she was singing when they first met as little girls on stage. And then it shows her walking off with Victoria and taking her hand and like telling her stories about her mother. Fuck. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to cry just telling you about that. It is such a good movie. It is a roller coaster of a movie. Like, it has at one stage like Bette Midler's like on the screen just like singing this wild song about having big boobs in this Broadway play she's in, and the next minute like Hillary's like collapsing from this cardiomyopathy that she has, finding out she's going to die. Like, it's a It's a wild ride. But it's very much of like, again, it's one of those movies that has become the defining movie about friendship, about female friendship and what people will do and what they can go through. Because they have some all out like crazy fights and they have these long estrangements and they have things, but they always come back to each other and are each other's person to the moment where they're on that beach together as Hillary takes her last breath.
Stop.
So it is, an iconic movie. Again, one of those things where like you hear beaches and all of a sudden it's become like shorthand for female friendship, sticking with that person, finding a friendship, and how the best love story could in your life doesn't have to be romantic, could be just be your best friend. Sorry, I feel like some of mine have been really depressing, but also sometimes, light and shade, that's what we're here for.
Light and shade.
Yeah. So I feel like you really need to watch Thelma and Louise and you really need to watch Beaches. Like I know you probably think that I just told you too much and potentially I spoiled it, but I've only skimmed the surface.
Oh my God.
Like that movie spans, like Beaches spans
Maybe I
over
need
30
to space
years.
them out.
Oh, please do. Don't watch them the same night. You'll
I'll
throw
watch
yourself
Joyride in between.
Bottoms in between. I would just recommend anyone don't watch Thelma and Louise and Beaches in the same night.
I think like what should be the order of all of our recommendations?
I mean,
start off Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
And then maybe like 2 light ones.
Yeah.
So
and then maybe
like Booksmart, Bottoms. And then maybe Beaches.
Yeah. And then maybe Joyride to finish it off.
And then Joyride and then Bend It Like Beckham.
Yeah, great.
There you go.
That's the correct order, everybody.